Hi, English 10, Miss Long here. This is the beginning of our very last unit of the year, and after that, summer is on the horizon. It's there, waiting. This is a good unit for most students. Most students tend to enjoy the creativity of the short story, short fiction, short stories. And so this will be your opportunity to get those creative juices going and really think about something that can entertain as well as inform. A lot of the writing you've done this year has been to inform your debate and your inquiry. This is to entertain. So we will be approaching short stories in this unit as writers. We're going to not only read them to appreciate them, but read them to analyze them and see how writers have developed the craft of writing and how we can emulate that. So in this first session, here's what we're looking at. You've got 3 assignments that are mandatory assignments, and then there's the work ethic bonus. You're going to do a weekly journal where you kind of get your juices going, telling a story of your own, literary devices in a certain short story called The Treasure of Lemon Brown, and a literary devices quiz. And there's a suggested work schedule I recommend that you use. If you want to create your own and submit that for the work ethic, that's fine too. When you get to your journal, I would like for you to think about stories from your life. These are the stories that your parents tell over and over, or stories that you and your friends recall, or stories that you share with a certain group of people. Fun things, serious things, stories that are worth telling for the beginning, middle, end, and the lessons learned. And it's not that when you write a short story, you're going to be writing these. Be real clear on that point. But it's just to get you into storytelling mode and make you think about what life experiences might be worth using as a jumping off point later. So, typical journal, 2 to 3 paragraphs and 20 minutes of sustained writing. You'll submit that. And then we'll dive into the short story. What exactly is the short story? How is it different from other types of literature that we read? So your short stories have all the same literary elements. These are things like setting and plot and character of larger works, but they typically are short. You can read them in one sitting. They have a single focus, much more limited setting, much more limited period of time that's covering, more limited in the number of characters, sometimes even just 1 character, 2 characters that are developed long enough to deliver a message. So you may want to check out this video here, get a refresher course on the literary elements, and then dive into the short story called The Treasure of Lemon Brown, which is provided for you in a PDF, and a worksheet that's going to go along with it that allows you to take a look at some of those literary devices. So you'll click on this here, make yourself a copy of it, click on Make a Copy, and you'll read the story as you complete these 3 parts. So you're looking at setting, you're looking at literary devices, things like figurative language, imagery, sensory information, and then you'll write about that at the end of when you finish the story in the document. So from there, we want to review some of the literary elements and some of the literary devices that can be useful for you. Generally, literary elements are those things that are in everything: the setting, the character, the conflicts, things that are in every story plot, whereas literary devices are things that are maybe not necessarily in every short story. So we've got things like conflict, theme that might be more universal, but foreshadowing, not necessarily in every story. Certainly flashback isn't going to be in every story, and some stories have more irony than others. So we just want to kind of review your familiarity with these terms so that you can think about which of these devices you might want to use in yours. And then at the end of this session, you will take a quiz that covers those devices, and there will be some examples in here from The Treasure of Lemon Brown. And that's it. That will wrap up this week. And next week, we will be looking at some more well-known short stories and analyzing those for the different literary crafts. So have a great week. Be in touch with any questions.